A mother says one of her son's classmates at a Lexington school harassed and threatened him over his race.
I didn't feel like my son was safe there.
Tonight, she's talking to WKYT in an exclusive television interview.
A Lincoln County man is accused of killing a dog by stomping on its head. He talks to me from jail saying that it was all just a big accident.
With time running out to reach a deal on a state budget, House and Senate leaders say they're making some progress.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. She says what happened to her son was a hate crime. And tonight, a Lexington mother is giving her first television interview about the case.
Denisha Vinegar says her 14-year-old son was the victim of racially motivated harassment and threats from another student at Lexington Catholic High School. That other student now faces charges. Monique Blair is at the live desk with a top story exclusive. Monique?
Well, Sam and Amber, Denisha Vinegar's 14-year-old son is now at a new school, starting over, after she was fearful for his safety while he attended Lexington Catholic.
Couldn't send him back. I just couldn't.
Denisha Vinegar says the harassment against her son started last summer before his freshman year at Lexington Catholic when he was at football camp.
He saw that my child was the roommate, and he had made a comment stating that all black people smelled like.
Vinegar says the student who made that comment was not the 17-year-old charged with sending her son threatening text messages in February. Vinegar says she found those messages, including a threat to lynch her son after he became very distant at home.
And he dropped his head and he looked at me and he said, well, I mean, there's nothing that you can do about it. That's what kind of hurt me, because I told him it's not okay for somebody to talk to you like that.
WKYT received a statement from Vinegar's attorney Amos Jones saying he is now representing a second African-American, now former Lexington Catholic student who left the school Tuesday following a string of assaults that ended in his reporting a battery that took place on Monday. We reached out to Lexington Catholic, who states, quote, no assault allegedly occurring on Monday at Lexington Catholic was reported to school officials. In fact, the school officials did not learn of this alleged assault until Mr. Jones sent a letter to the school's attorney midday on Tuesday, April 12, 2016. Now, Vinegar told me some allegations have been made against her son, saying he initiated the threats. She says after her son was repeatedly tormented, he did stand up for himself, but she says what he said was not threatening or racially motivated. At the live desk, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. Vinegar says although Lexington Catholic did reduce her $4,000 tuition bill, they have still billed her. She says the school has also not released her son's transcripts, although they told her they would.
Tonight, a Lincoln County man now accused of killing his dog tells us it was just an accident. Investigators claim Jasper Jesse's dog died after being stomped on. He's now charged with animal cruelty. But from jail today, Jesse admits he first claimed the dog had been poisoned. Phil Pendleton has the story.
Police say it happened at a home on Orchard Street in Crab Orchard. Jasper Jesse says it began when his dachshund Amy started chewing and scratching on a chair.
I just walked over, I smacked her on her old butt. Well, I went to pick her up, put her on the floor. She pooped on the chair.
Jesse says moments later, somehow the dog ended up underneath a recliner.
I sat in a chair and I heard yelp, yelp, yelp.
He says he got scared and didn't know how to explain what happened when he realized the dog was dead.
And I kind of lied and said that they must have got a hold of rat poison or something, because I mean, I was still stunned. I didn't really know what I'd say or do.
The dog was taken to a UK vet lab and its cause of death was ruled to be blunt force trauma to the head, but it also said the dog had broken ribs and hemorrhaging to the brain. Jesse says he never meant for the dog to be killed.
And they say I stomped it, but sorry, I didn't stomp it, I guess. I mean, if I really actually intended to kill the dog, I'd have buried it and said, you know, I mean, I'd have made it where it disappeared, nobody saw it again.
He's charged with cruelty to animals, second degree, and tampering with physical evidence.
Because, I mean, I really didn't mean to.
In Lincoln County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Now, according to court records, Jesse admitted to police that he killed the dog in anger. A man in Anderson County also facing charges connected to the death of a dog. Lawrenceburg police say the miniature pinscher was chained in a backyard without food, water, or shelter. Police think the dog died days before they found it. What was going on? Investigators say the dog's owner, Howard Tinchell, left the dog chained outside because it kept going to the bathroom inside his house. They also say that Tinchell killed the dog, or kicked the dog rather. He's been charged with second-degree animal cruelty.
A third suspect charged after a deadly shooting in Lexington appeared in court this afternoon. Alex Farrell pled not guilty to robbery today. Jaden Whalen and Nicholas Coriaci face the same charge. All three are freshmen at the University of Kentucky. Lexington police say the three men, along with James Gordon, tried to rob a man during a drug deal over the weekend on Woodland Avenue. But police say the robbery victim shot Gordon and Coriaci. Gordon later died. Police say the robbery victim has not been charged for the shooting.
Are they finally making some progress? Tonight, state, House, and Senate leaders say they've had good momentum as they continue their attempts to reach an agreement on a state budget. But time is quickly running out. Victor Puente joins us live now from Frankfort with the very latest. Victor?
This conference committee keeps getting pushed back. It's now supposed to start at any minute, but legislative aides tell us meetings have been taking place throughout the day. The Budget Conference Committee was originally supposed to begin at 11 this morning. That time has come and gone, and still no sightings of the parties involved. Legislative aides for Senate President Robert Stivers and Speaker of the House Greg Stumbo tell us they've been in private meetings all day discussing the budget. The largest disagreement was originally the cuts to higher education. That seems to have been resolved, with both sides tentatively agreeing to a 4.5% cut to funding for universities and colleges. While the legislative session doesn't end until Friday, lawmakers only have hours from now to reach an agreement. That's because it takes around 30 hours to print off a bill so it can be voted on by both chambers. A press conference with Stumbo and Stivers was planned for earlier today, then it was canceled. Their representatives say that's because they're making headway on the budget.
We're not sure exactly where the meeting stands right now, but I was told that there was progress moving forward, so I can only imagine that if they're still meeting, that's a good thing.
If no budget is passed, the governor could call a special session to give them more time. But yesterday he told us he had no intention of calling a special session and expected the job to get done this week. Live from the Capitol Annex, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And as Victor said there, the governor said Tuesday he would not call a special session if they don't agree on a state budget. Without a budget by July 1st, parts of state government would likely shut down. Now, that's never happened before, but a 2005 Supreme Court ruling means that only some essential required expenses continue. The money will likely dry up for areas like state parks, tourism programs, and economic development.
Sunshine and warmer temperatures have moved into the bluegrass, but even with today's nice weather, severe weather season is underway, and we want to make sure that you are ready for those potential storms. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey joins us now live from the Kroger in Richmond to explain. Good evening to you, Chris.
Hi, Amber. Yeah, exactly right. Severe weather season is here, although we haven't had a whole lot of severe weather so far. May, early June, typical peak for severe weather season across central and eastern Kentucky. You mentioned we're at Kroger in Richmond. We've got a tent set up outside here where we have WKYT, Midland Weather Radio Partnership, and we have these at a very good price. And Jim, Micah are over here. They're programming those Midland Weather Radios. Now, the programming is for free. The weather radios with a discount price, but those will alert you anytime there's a severe weather watch or warning issued for your county, and we can program those specifically for your county. Our box, by the way, display box, we filled it up a little bit ago. Now look at it. It is empty again. A tremendous turnout here at Kroger in Richmond so far this afternoon. If folks continue to come on by, we'll hook you up right on through 7 o'clock this evening. Come on out and see us. We've hooked you up with a good-looking forecast, too, weather-wise. Blue skies over top of us. Skycam into Lexington showing blue skies over Hamburg. Temperature right now into the low and mid 60s into most of central and eastern Kentucky. Nice weather that continues through the region. This is a normal day. We've kind of become accustomed to those colder than normal days. Defender Radar Network, nothing going on. We're getting ready to flip this pattern now into one that is much, much warmer. And by the time we hit the weekend and next week, those thermometers will really begin to take off. We'll show you just how high that thermometer gets where you live when I come back with a 7-day forecast here in a little under 10 minutes.
All right, we'll see you in just a bit, Chris. We appreciate it. Thank you. It has become the talk of a central Kentucky community. Anderson County leaders say they will allow an 8-year-old boy to join a girls' softball team this spring.
So why did he want to play on the girls' team? Sean Moody has the story new at 6.
People here in Lawrenceburg are pretty split on whether or not this little boy should be allowed to play on a girls' softball team. A woman who said that she is the boy's mother, though, said this is really just all about him wanting to play with his best friend. Anderson County Judge Executive Orby Gritton said he'd encourage any kid to play sports. So when an 8-year-old boy wanted to sign up to play in the softball league, he said he looked into it and found no reason why he couldn't.
And where we are not governed or we're not sanctioned by either the NSA or the ASA, we don't have any particular rules that say a boy cannot play in the softball league.
I talked with a woman who identified herself as the boy's mother on the phone today. The attention kind of came out of left field for her. She said she didn't want to identify herself, but she said this was really all about her son wanting to play with a friend. She said his best friend is a girl who's playing softball, and he's never played a sport, so they thought it would be a good way for him to get into the game. She said she didn't expect it would be a big deal. In the Anderson News article, one of the committee members, Rusty Milliken, is quoted as expressing concern about the precedent this could set for older boys who sign up to play. We haven't been able to get in touch with him, but in that article, he's quoted as saying they've gotten calls from people concerned that boys could be stronger than the girls and hurt them, or that there might be sexual harassment. Sarah Hahn is a softball and baseball parent here, and she said she's got no problem with it.
I think they can all play together and just be fine. I mean, I don't have any issues with that. I think it's perfectly fine.
In Lawrenceburg, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Gritton said that he has coached boys' teams with girls on them, and there have not been any problems.
If you spent the day at Keeneland, you may have noticed a lot of pink. How it was all for a good cause next.
Firefighters often refer to themselves as a brotherhood, but at the top of this brotherhood, you'll find her, Lexington's first female fire chief. Being a woman in a man's world isn't what makes her unique. Her story, Thursday at 6 on WKYT.
At Baptist Health, we want you to know the facts. Visit BaptistHealthTalks.com to view a video of anesthesiologist Thomas Young on reducing pain after surgery. Baptist Health Lexington. Be a healthier you.
I'm Amy Henson. My husband and I founded Rock Bottom Soaps. We use goat milk to make soaps and lotions that help dry, irritated skin. We're members of Appalachian Proud, part of the Kentucky Proud program, which helps local families just like ours. Look for Kentucky Proud products available every day at Kroger.
Right now at Kroger, Ale 8 is 3 for $10 when you buy 3. And Kroger Sour Cream or Dip is 2 for $4. Great food, low prices at Kroger.
I could get used to this.
I could get used to this.
The luxuriously transformed 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid.
I could get used to this.
Once you experience this level of luxury,
I could get used to this.
there's no going back. Lease the 2016 ES350 for $339 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
It was a routine call, a code 7 at a local laundromat. What we saw, well, nothing can prepare you for it. We went in, we approached the victim. He was dying of boredom. Agents of play, sir. We got there just in time. We handed him a scratch-off ticket and watched him play. Thank you. Have fun. I'm serious. His smile, well, that's the only thanks we needed. It's what being an agent of play is all about.
Put a little play in your day, week, month, or year with these exciting new scratch-offs from the Kentucky Lottery. Fueling imagination, funding education.
I'm a Toyota truck. I like to get dirty. I'm made in America. I can tow over 10,000 pounds. I'm indestructible. I keep my family safe. I work hard. I play hard. I am a Toyota truck. Right now, get a new 2016 Tundra with 1.9% financing for 60 months. Toyota, let's go places.
Do you want to lose weight quickly and safely? Do you want to be healthy for a lifetime? Kim did and lost 238 pounds at Ageless Medical Weight Loss. Betty did and lost 135 pounds. The Ageless program is a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution. Call today for a free consultation.
The Castle, twice the jewelry,
half the price.
K-Tap Carat Best Friend True Love Rings at $9.95. At the Castle, get the same quality, same carat weight ring for only $5.95. Shop 10 Castle locations.
You're gonna love what's new at Fazoli's, the Create Your Own Sampler. You get 3 choices of Italian deliciousness from 12 Fazoli's favorites. That's over 250 combinations for just $6.99. Only at Fazoli's.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 98.1 The Bull.
You were at Keeneland today.
I was.
Keeneland covered in pink today, all to help promote breast cancer awareness.
Great day out there. This was the 8th year for the Horses and Hope Pink Day. It kicked off with a survivors luncheon, which included a derby-themed fashion show. Breast cancer survivors and their guests also heard from former Kentucky First Lady Jane Beshear, who started the Horses and Hope program. She says she is thrilled with its success.
We have an opportunity to change statistics in this state, and to me that's, if there's a legacy that is left by the Beshear administration and by a program like Horses and Hope, that's it. We move that needle, we change the statistics.
Mrs. Beshear says even though some people worried that the program would end after former Governor Steve Beshear's term, this year's event, she says, at Keeneland was one of the biggest yet.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Absolutely gorgeous weather out here. We are at Kroger in Richmond, where we have sunny skies, mild temperatures, and a lot of people who have been coming out here at Kroger, Richmond, Madison County, taking advantage of a discount deal on our WKYT Midland weather radios. Now, look what's going on behind me. The folks at Kroger brought us a little grub out here. They may not get rid of Jim and Micah. I mean,
you bring us chicken fingers, we'll stay all
yeah,
night.
They are the official programmers here for those weather radios. So you come here, you get a discount on the weather radios. Now you may get a little greasy finger action on some of those right now, but they will program those for you to only alert you to specific counties that you choose. So if you only want a warning for, let's say you're here in Madison County, it will only give you warnings for Madison County. We'll be here through 7 o'clock, by the way. They may stay a little longer if we keep feeding them. Let's look outside, not only here in Madison County, but across the entire state right now. 9 live sky cams, every location we look at with a beautiful sky that is taking shape across the region. Those temperatures into the 60s this afternoon with mild weather across the entire region, and we're going to continue to hang on to the warm temperatures over the next few days. Look at tomorrow's forecast. Now, there is the smallest threat for a shower into parts of southern Kentucky tomorrow, but a better chance for those afternoon temperatures to hit 70 degrees. Defender Radar Network is dry, and I suspect the better part of the next week is going to remain dry as well. So that's certainly good news for folks who have some outdoor activities, not only for the next few days, but for the weekend, and I think this pattern may kind of hang put for a few days into next week. Across the deep south, big area of low pressure that has the chance to throw a little rain shower into parts of southern Kentucky, but your 3-day threat track, you see green on there, that's good. That means there's a low risk for any type of weather impacting what you have planned outdoors. There's a chance of a shower tomorrow, mainly dry on Friday, and that new hour-by-hour hot off the presses with temperatures this evening into the 40s. By tomorrow morning, we'll be around 40 degrees, and by the time we roll into the afternoon tomorrow, upper 60s to around 70 degrees. Low 70s should be a good possibility by the time we hit Friday afternoon. Those temperatures on Friday will be much, much better as well.
I want to tell you something.
All right, Jim's here to interrupt me to tell me something here.
I'm here to get Micah in trouble. He has stooped to new lows.
Yeah.
He just showed his leg off to sell one of these radios, I think. He pulled his leg up and showed his leg off.
Micah literally has no shame.
I just want to get him in trouble.
You want to see part of Micah's leg, come out here. He'll apparently show that off. Maybe we'll throw in a foot. I don't know. 7-day forecast with no shame as well. Plenty of sunshine out there over the next several days and those warm temperatures. So here's the scene behind me. Folks are lined up again, and WKYT Midland Weather Radio Day, Kroger, Richmond. Come on out and see us through 7 o'clock this afternoon. Discount price on the weather radio. These guys, in between eating chicken fingers and showing some leg, will program those for you as well. So guys, again, we're here through 7 o'clock this evening.
It's hard to say, but Chris Bailey is the only one holding that train together right there. It just was
barely
derailing just like that.
Yeah, all right. Well, it sounds like Tubby Smith, Rob, is on the move.
Tubby is a man who has moved a lot in his life, and as he comes up on his 65th birthday this summer, apparently he is going to move again. And they were postponed last week. Cats in the Cars will hook up tonight on a beautiful night for baseball. Sports is next.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 100.1 WKQQ.
Right now, at the all-new Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, get up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value for any trade. During the spring clearance event, new 2015 Jeep Renegade Sports, just $189 a month. Visit BigMSuperstore.com.
Thank you for the cereal.
The crayons made a big difference.
It may not seem like much to you,
but it means the world to us.
Kroger stores are increasing local community rewards donations to $3.6 million, and you can help decide where that money goes. Sign up at Kroger.com/community rewards and link your Plus card to the local group that matters most to you.
When we all join together, there's nothing we can't do. Great food, low prices at Kroger.
What's your RAV4 for? It's for getting places you could never get to before. It's for going out on the town in style. It's for your honey-do list. It's for 34 MPG in the new RAV4 Hybrid. How far will you take it? The 2016 Toyota RAV4 with available all-wheel drive and more technology and safety features. Lease a RAV4 LE now for just $199 a month, or this RAV4 Hybrid for only $229 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey man, who do you think Captain D was?
Captain D was actually regional semi-pro hockey captain Doug LaCour. Fueled by his voracious love of seafood, Doug would punch holes in the ice with his bare hands for a mid-practice snack. You're full of it.
He sure is, Paul. Full of Captain D's Southern-style whitefish, topped with a special blend of Nashville hot seasonings for our Nashville hot fish. For full meals at just $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
Folks around here appreciate good basketball and fast thoroughbreds. But most of all, we love our tough, dependable Ram trucks. And when it comes to Ram sales, nobody does it better than Bob Allen Motor Mall. Bob Allen is the #1 volume Ram dealer in Kentucky, 5 years running. And all new Ram purchases include powertrain coverage for life. Save more during Ram Truck Month at the Bob Allen Motor Mall on Maple Avenue in Danville. It's good to be #1.
I have to like my doctors. I've got to feel like they have a personal interest in me. Not that I'm a basketball coach, but that I'm somebody they know and they are concerned about. I could go any place for my medical care, but I chose Danville and the Ephraim McDowell Medical Center.
A trusted leader in heart care, Ephraim McDowell Regional Medical Center, where excellence is our only standard.
Right now, at the all-new Big M Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, get up to $5,000 over Kelley Blue Book fair market value for any trade. During Ram Truck Month, new 2016 Ram, Bighorn Crew Cab 4-wheel drives are only $199 a month. Visit BigMSuperstore.com.
Well, it sounds like Texas Tech coach Tubby Smith is on the move to Memphis. According to USA Today, Tubby has had significant contact with Memphis, and the school could be targeting him to replace Josh Pastner, who just left for Georgia Tech. The report says Smith has told Texas Tech officials that he is involved with Memphis and its search, and it's believed Tubby will take an offer if it is made. The school is expected to make a decision by the end of the week. Moorhead State guard Corbin Collins is transferring. Collins averaged 29 minutes a game and 11 points while hitting better than 42% from three-point range. The Eagles, who are the CBI tournament runner-up, Collins will graduate from MSU, and by NCAA rules, he will be eligible to play next season. You know, so many times we hear from both Kentucky and U of L their meetings on the fields of play are treated just like any other game. Well, you know that's not the case. Not the case emotionally. Both UK and Louisville baseball teams are ranked in the top 10 of the nation. And Gary Henderson says you don't have to treat this game like a conference weekend.
You know, there's no pacing. You know, it's just one night. You know, it's not a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You don't have to worry about 27 innings. It's 9 innings. It's exciting. I think the kids love it. I think both sides do, and I think it's really good for the fans.
And the game is televised tonight. If you can't make it out to Cliff Hagan Stadium, it will be on the SEC Plus Dick Gabriel and former UK coach Keith Madison. First pitch coming up shortly at 6:30. The 15th ranked UK softball team also in action tonight, hosting EKU. Rachel Lawson's team playing really well. So much has been made of the Cats shutting out LSU in all 21 innings last weekend, and the pitching of Megan Prince and Kelsey Nunley gets a lot of credit. But don't forget about the defense, especially up the middle.
I thought that Christian Stokes and Katie Reed were tremendous, and so they came up with big stops in key situations. And then we had a key play by Brooklyn Hines in left field. So if those balls fall, we're having a different conversation. And in the past, those balls had fallen. And this year, especially right now, those aren't falling. So I think really the story this past weekend was not only how great our pitching was, but how outstanding our middle infield was.
All right, in the last half hour, we were talking about the Kentucky defense, and the Cats should be strong in the secondary. Cornerback J.D. Harmon is back for his senior year. What a story he has been coming out of Paducah. Walked on the UK squad back in 2012, worked his way into a starting spot that season. Then he redshirted. He's seen plenty of action over the last 2 years, and he believes the secondary is the strongest part of this team.
I feel like we are, but I also feel like our D-line, our linebackers are doing a great job of, they're right there. They're coming along just as well. With us, we have a lot of guys back. You have Blake McLean coming back. Chris West, we played a lot, started for us. He's coming back. Derek Beatty, Mike Edwards, Darius West, like Marcus McWilson, we've been here. So we played in those big games, so we have, the experience. And I feel like that's one of our strong points. We know what it takes to win those games. And we also know what it takes to lose those games.
So a lot of names there, and you can get a look at them coming up this weekend. The Blue-White game, noon kickoff at Commonwealth Stadium. Sam Amber, back to you.
Thank you, Rob. A final check of your first alert forecast is next.
Then on the CBS Evening News, higher speed limits may get you where you're going faster, but are they safe? What an investigation found.
Kentucky Lottery jackpot sequence has been initiated. Prepare for current jackpot amount.
Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is $184 million.
It's an all-systems-go weekend at Green's Toyota of Lexington during their 48-hour sales explosion. 0% financing on 10 different Toyota models. And up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Toyotas with their Green Saver coupon. This weekend only. Green's.
Race into Logan's for your winning outfit and save during Logan's huge Derby sale. Our entire stock of over 2,000 name brand suits and sport coats are now reduced with savings up to 60%. Now through Derby Day, save 25% on all Allen Edmonds shoes. Our entire stock of Southern Tide sportswear is now 20% off. Hundreds of Famous Maker ties are now at least 50% off. And Logan's has Central Kentucky's finest selection of sportswear from Vineyard Vines and Peter Millar. Find your winning outfit on sale now at Logan's and the Tates Creek Center.
Want to fill your garage with the best value brand in America that costs less than the competition? Honda's got it. During Honda's Dream Garage Sales Event, redesigned 2016 Civics, the #1 selling compact car, just $179 a month. Or drive with 0 down, 0 security, and 0 first month's payment. Civics with available Honda Lane Watch, Brake Assist, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and more. Just $179 a month or 0 due at signing. Honda's got it at your Central Kentucky Honda dealers.
Established in 1841, Hill & Myers is a local 6th-generation family-owned business. Our company has evolved over the years from a wholesale nursery to design build to commercial and equine maintenance. Now Hill & Myers offers Weedman lawn care fertilization and weed control for your home, bringing together the long tradition with the best products to give you a lush, weed-free emerald green lawn. Weedman, we care for your lawn. Visit weedmanusa.com to request a free estimate today.
Spring is here, so get out there in a new 2016 Go Anywhere Subaru with symmetrical all-wheel drive. Right now, own a new 2016 Forester for only $23,890, or lease it for just $219 per month. Or own a new 2016 Legacy for only $21,900, or lease it for just $219 per month. Discover why Quantrell is Kentucky's #1 sales volume Subaru dealer for the last 4 years. Come into Quantrell today. We have great lease and finance specials.
If time is infinite, why is there never enough of it? A John Deere One Family tractor with Quick Park lets you attach and go. iMatch Quick Hitch gives you more time for what you love, so it takes less work to do more work. Auto Connect Drive Over Mower Deck? Done. They're not making any more land, but there's plenty of time if you know where to look.
Save at Limestone with an E-Series mower and loader tractor package. Find details in a store near you at limestoneflw.com.
It's an all-systems-go weekend at Green's Toyota of Lexington during their 48-hour sales explosion. 0% financing on 10 different Toyota models. And up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Toyotas with their Green Saver coupon. This weekend only. Greens!
Remember, you have till 7 o'clock to go see Chris Bailey and our weather team at the Richmond Kroger.
All right. Enjoy the beautiful weather tonight. We'll see you later here on WKYT tonight at 11.